guys, and welcome back to the Ducks and Dogs podcast. My name is Mike, here again with my co-host Matt. How you doing today, Matt?
In the time between last episode and this one, I have been in and out of quarantine. So today's actually my first day out. So we're doing pretty well considering that. Yeah, I got COVID. I tested positive last Thursday. So that was very fun for me. Got out this morning because it's 5-day quarantine and then 5 days of mask when you're in public. So
Major L.
we're out. We're free.
So in the time between the last episode and this one, it looked like Washington had thought they were hiring Shepard, and then it looked like Notre Dame was going to get him, and now Washington's got him. From every credible source, it was that Notre Dame chose who else? What was the other guy's name?
Wiggins was the other guy they were interviewing from Alabama.
From all the credible sources, Notre Dame chose Wiggins over Shepard. But from Ruth Dobbins, Shepard chose Washington over Notre Dame.
Hey, man.
Yeah,
I guess the insiders got
viable.
the insider information. Yeah, I mean...
Because, Matt, do you even believe that?
I don't know. I don't think I do, but if...
Would you be inclined to believe that?
No, I would not be inclined to believe it. But, I mean, they've got credible sources. From what I've seen, a couple insiders have hinted at it. No, it's not just her. Roman's also hinted at it, but
Roman's
I haven't
not
gotten
an
a direct
insider.
quote.
Roman is the same level of insider as I am.
That is not true.
That is
But,
very
okay.
true.
I know. You're not... Okay, never mind. We're not going to go down that rabbit hole. I will just say Roman knows more than you think, and you don't realize it.
Be like that.
He just doesn't say a lot. But
Then
yeah,
you're not truly an insider.
huge
Okay, huge hire.
huge hire for you, Dub. There we go. Getting back on track a little bit there. Huge hire for you, Dub. I was pretty down bad about it last week because it looked like we were not going to get him, as did most of Husky Twitter, as did pretty much everybody else in the country. And then, Wiggins steps in for the position.
Have gone hand in hand this year.
Yeah, Shepard. I mean, huge hire for the Dogs.
Big hire.
Huge. I would even say upgrade from Junior Adams, in my opinion.
Upgrade. I'll give you that.
And that's not even a hard argue. I feel like the development Jesus Christ, I can't talk. The development track for his guys
It's
is
not
already
Cooper
good.
Cup.
It's not Cooper Cup. Yeah, that's for sure. It's more than a Cooper Cup, which is really
NFL's
nice.
receiving leader was produced by Oregon's wide receivers coach. Just saying.
Give me a break, dude. Give me a break. Trade it around more, please, because we did that for however long, and Adams didn't produce another good receiver while he was with us. So
To be fair, it's hard to when you recruit at like the 80th level.
yeah, but we still had 4-star receivers on that roster.
Are they still there, or do they go to BYU?
A couple of them are still there.
A couple of them are still there.
Couple of them are still
but
there.
the most promising ones are gone.
I'm just saying, there's still a couple 4-star receivers that were under his control.
Yeah, but he also had John Donovan and Dylan Morris.
Yeah, no, like his hands were completely
And a
tied either way.
terrible offensive line, solid running backs, terrible quarterback, terrible offensive coordinator, terrible head coach. What do you want
But
him to do?
if you take out last season, he had multiple opportunities to develop, and he really didn't do all that much with the talent he was given.
The
even when they
offensive
weren't
coordinator he
terrible.
had before Donovan got fired to get replaced by Donovan. So, I mean...
And the offenses were still doing better. So, I mean, what does that say?
Y'all have been in a struggle pit. Hopefully this changes it.
I think Shepard will change a couple things. If not for anything, you have a recruiter back on the roster.
Have one recruiter
Obviously,
on the roster.
you worried about with Adams leaving that you weren't going to be able to have a recruiter like he was. But Shepard is all that in terms of recruiting. I mean, if you can convince 4-stars and all those guys to go to Purdue, I feel like Seattle should not be that hard of a sell. But they went 4-8 lost Montana last year.
I love the graphic that's been going around for Seattle lately is the skyline of a really gloomy, ugly day. And I'm just like, why are y'all sending this around to hype it up? Why would it's foggy as shit? Like, what do you mean?
Which one? There's
It's the
about
one over by the needle.
300,000 of
Yeah.
them.
And I'm like, you could use a summer picture to hype up Seattle, maybe,
Yeah.
just not a picture that looks
There's some cool
depressing.
haze pictures and
Yeah,
fog
for sure.
pictures, but
But like,
you know,
the one I'm talking about that's going around recently, right?
I really don't
Oh,
know.
it's fucking pitch black. Like, it's dark. I'm like, why are y'all sharing this? I wouldn't want to go there. It makes no sense.
Yeah, but holy cow, man. Huge land for you,
Shepard's
Dub.
great. He's a really
It's
great hire.
awesome. Yeah, really good hire.
This makes
You're
me,
getting this out of LeMike Black, everybody.
this makes me
You're getting him to
question,
admit this.
why the fuck didn't we go after him if he'd go to Washington?
Yeah, that's kind of the head scratcher
I'm-
here, because obviously you could have gotten somebody better
I
than
will-
Adams.
I
for
will
sure.
give Notre Dame and Washington credit. They are both really good programs, and they both have better history overall than Oregon. But if all three are offering a coach the same job and the pay's the same, you're not choosing Notre Dame or Washington.
I mean, on paper you shouldn't.
You're not like
Sorry.
you're not gonna like it's not.
Yeah.
If everything is equal, you're choosing Oregon. Well,
Yeah.
fuck,
Which
did we not
kind
go
of
after
makes
him?
me scratch my head with the current state of that offensive staff. I have
don't like
said many
Dillingham.
times
I
I'm
don't
not
like the
a
running
fan
back
of who they're
coach either.
hiring.
I like Adams.
But-
I actually like Adams, and I like Clem, the offensive line coach.
Yeah.
And then our tight ends coach, I like him as a quarterbacks coach. So
Interesting.
Yeah.
I don't know who that is.
he was
so-
a quarterbacks coach and offensive coordinator before here.
Okay. Yeah, I got you.
Yeah, but he
Um,
took a slight
interesting.
pay increase to demote a role, I guess.
Okay.
But that's a little mini side topic. If you are a coordinator calling plays in college football, do not take a step down for a pay increase. If you're calling plays, stay calling plays. That's the error. Even when even college coaches at the Power 5 level, don't take a step down to go to the NFL. If you're calling plays, stay calling plays. Because when you go to get a different job, it's gonna look bad that you haven't called plays in X amount of years.
Yeah.
Just call
But
plays.
I guess we don't know their situation. But
Yeah.
if it were me, I completely agree with you. I'm in the same boat there. It doesn't make any sense. But
My thought process is that not Dillingham, well, we'll get to that. Lanning gave all the offensive hires pretty much over to Dillingham. And
yeah,
because
that's
if
what
you
it
look at it,
seems like.
the defensive hires are all really, really good hires, like solid hires. There's not a terrible
Yeah.
hire on the defensive staff.
Mhm.
And the offense is the exact opposite. It's no splash. It's no big names. It's nobody great. So I'm really convinced that he gave over the hiring duties for the offensive staff to Dillingham. And I
Yeah.
don't know if it's going to work out. If you're going to hire Lachlan, why not just hire LeMike or D'Anthony or LeGarrette Blunt or
LeMike Black?
when somebody tweeted that at me, I said, "Damn, I kind of like that." I'm making that my Twitter handle.
It's funny because
Well,
every
'cause-
time you say LeMike, it makes me think of it, even though that's not at all who you're talking.
Yeah, and there was like 4 people who called me LeMike for a week, and I was like, "Fuck this, that's my new at now."
It's just funny, dude. It absolutely kills me.
Bro, it's kind of clean though, ain't it?
Yeah, no,
It's
it's
kinda
nice.
clean. It
for sure.
works.
It works, bro.
It
It works.
White guy
Nah.
from Florida named Mike LeMike.
Hey, is Dillingham gonna hire any more guys who tweet riddles out?
Dillingham needs to stop tweeting out stupid shit.
What was it
just
today?
what was the one I said in the group chat? What the fuck
It was
that
it was 5 + 5 + 5.
one? Oh, how
equals
does this equal
550.
550?
You have one line to
Motherfucker.
make it true
And
or
then he
whatever.
And then he tweeted out, "About to download this movie. What do you guys think?" And it's a fucking Justice League. First of all, why are you watching a DC movie?
That's a huge red flag.
That's
That
a
is
red flag.
Huge, that is a huge red
That means we're
flag.
about to run a Stone Age offense.
John Donne 2.0
You know-
incoming.
You know whose tweets also annoy me?
Who?
Lachlan, the running back coach. Not because of
Really?
what he tweets, because of how frequently he tweets. That man does not get off Twitter.
Hmm.
That man tweets as much as I do.
Recruiting staff have to be on Twitter.
Bro, he's tweeting pictures of him sitting in the recruiting chair. Like, bro, that's how you know he wasn't ready for this job, bro.
Bro's just there for the vibes
He
in
was
the
not-
gram, bro.
But I mean this in all sincerity. That's how you could tell he was not ready for this caliber of a job. The fact that he's like
Oh yeah.
posting pictures in Oregon shit every day, flexing in the recruiting picture areas, like
Tomorrow he's gonna post a picture in a full uniform. Like, damn, maybe
like
I
that
should head out there
Florida Gators
this
dad,
season.
player dad.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's probably a great dude, probably could end up being a really good coach one day, but he was not ready for this position.
No.
Not at all.
But hey, it's never. I guess it's never a bad thing when people are that excited for their job. But I get what you're saying. It comes off a bit unprofessional, I guess.
And it's not that anything is wrong with that in particular. It's just it shows you that he is inexperienced, that he's not used to the big stage. It's not anything against, like, you can do that, cool. If you've been here for 10 years, you could do that. Oregon's obviously got better facilities than everybody else in the country. But if you're doing it and you're young, it just shows like, hey, this is something I'm not used to, and it just raises eyebrows a little bit. To pivot that a little bit, did you see the All-American Bowl on ABC? They did the poll for facilities.
I did. Oregon got what, 12 votes?
Oregon got 13 votes.
13.
Oregon got 13 votes. They were in first place. And they're building a $330 million addition to their facility.
Washington got 1 from the Washington commit that didn't play because of COVID.
Yeah, I respect it, but he's lying.
Hey, you know what? He's staying true to his commitment. I'm a fan.
If you give any Washington commit who visited Oregon Truth Serum and ask them which facilities are better, come on.
Good thing Truth Serum isn't a thing, so we'll never know.
Now they might say you guys have a good setting. Don't worry.
Hey, the greatest setting. Actually, have I told you about the greatest setting in college football before?
You want me to tell you something? I actually have a different belief on the greatest setting.
Are you gonna say Autzen?
I'm gonna say Utah. That's beautiful. It's beautiful.
Interesting.
That's beautiful.
That's fair. I'm not gonna agree with you because it just feels wrong to say that it's not Washington. But I can buy into that a little bit. It's pretty nice out there.
It is nice. I would also put, if they could get fans to show up, I would put UCLA up there.
Yeah, 100%.
UCLA would be first if they could get fans to show up.
You're super nice out there.
It would be first. Rose Bowl Stadium would be first if they could get fans to show up.
Yeah.
But they can't, so sucks.
Oh well. Hey, Chip Kelly just got an extension though.
Yeah,
so they'll be 8-4 for the next.
I actually think the
years.
UCLA fans who want him fired are dumb.
Really?
Yes. I know. So one of his biggest issues was that defensive coordinator he hired, he was really good friends with, so he didn't want to fire him. But he's gone, and that has been their main offense. Hasn't been a major struggle for UCLA. Their offense has been fine. So if they could get a solid defensive coordinator in here that Chip's not buddy with and can actually maybe do a decent job, I think they'll be set to be really good. And what name are you going to get that helps you compete with Lincoln Riley as much as Chip Kelly? Like, what name is going to UCLA out there that's going to help you?
Yeah, that's fair. My worry, though, like, especially with the coaching carousel kind of slowing down now, is there anybody out there he can convince? And also, I feel like Chip Kelly kind of hit close to their ceiling. That's a really talented UCLA team he had last year, and maybe a win or two away from really hitting their potential. But like, that might be it for them.
That's with the bad defense. I think they can be better with Chip Kelly.
Yeah, I won't buy into it until I see it because I really don't think there's anybody out there in the coaching carousel that he can grab that will really make it like a splash.
I have something. I have two options for you, both from the Pac-12 footprint.
Okay.
The obvious one I've mentioned multiple times when defensive coordinator jobs come up. Keith Hayward, linebackers coach Cal. Co-defensive coordinator Cal.
Are you going to say what I think you're going to say?
I'm going to say what you think I'm going to say.
You're going to say it, aren't you?
I'm going to say Jimmy Lake.
You son of a bitch. You son of a bitch. You son of a bitch. I knew that was so coming. Oh my God.
Go get a guy like that.
I just feel like it's too soon for a college program to take him after what happened at Washington.
Okay, but nobody gives a fuck besides Washington that he pushed again.
No, I know, but I'm still saying, like, the nosedive that team took, I still think teams are going to be too afraid to take him in college for the next year or two.
Okay, well, there's got to be other guys out there like who. Yeah. What is Charlie Strong doing? I actually don't know. Like, I don't know. There are guys out there who could be splash hires. They're just risky as well. They're a risky hire, and what it is the concern with them is that they're previously head coaches, so you might be, breathing down your neck a little bit type thing. Yeah, but if you're Chip Kelly, with the legacy you have in college football as a whole, you shouldn't be worried about that. And with the amount of money you're making at UCLA, you shouldn't be worried about that. They're like, go hire a big name and win. If he goes and actually pursues the best possible candidate for that defensive coordinator job, UCLA has shown they're trying. They're willing to spend the money to try and be good.
It's true.
So go get a quality, position coach, co-defensive coordinator somewhere, and give them the defensive coordinator title, give them a raise, give them associate head coach or whatever to get them out there. And UCLA could be a really solid team.
I agree. I think also in the South, I can't see them going past that 8-4 ceiling. I really can't, with the way Utah's looking and keeping momentum, with USC coming in, bringing in a bunch of recruits and Lincoln Riley.
Utah's good once every 5 years
to get up there. What's up?
Utah's good once every 5 years.
They'll be good next year.
They'll be good next year. Then Kyle Whittingham will retire, and then they won't be good.
Yeah. But USC, you have to directly compete with USC. And that's, with the hype they're getting and the firepower they're bringing in, I just find it really hard to believe that they can do it.
How is their firepower going to do anything when they're getting sacked 14 times a game?
I don't know, man. But
I like the players they're bringing in, but can you bring in a lineman somewhere? Please?
I guess they haven't. I guess you're right. They really haven't signed anybody for a line.
I'm sorry, Pro Football Focus. USC did not have the best offensive line in college football last year.
Are they getting
a terrible offensive line, and they got graded first by Pro Football Focus. That's just
not that Connerly's would go to USC with all the other schools. Are they still even in contention for him?
Mm-hmm.
Are they?
It's still USC, Oregon, Washington, Michigan.
Well, he just took a visit to Oklahoma, so I just was curious. I couldn't remember. I knew it was Oregon, Washington, Michigan, and then I kind of forgot everybody else.
I don't know how in it Oklahoma is. Oregon's about to steal potentially one UGA commit and one heavy UGA lean.
Yeah,
I
saw that. I mean,
running back and the defensive lineman. Running back doesn't make sense, but I'll take it.
Well, maybe that segues a little bit because there's a new gap in that room with Mr. Dye hitting the transfer portal.
Yeah, I tip my cap to you, Dye, but I'm also not mad.
Yeah. I mean, we talked about it last week.
Yeah, exactly. Because Dollars had entered, but Dollars is back, thank fucking God.
Dollars is back after
fucking
changing his mind 8 times.
So I found out what that was. Apparently, Oregon filled something out wrong, so they had to take him out and put him back in.
Of course.
So it wasn't Dye, it was Oregon.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dollars is back. Dye's. So the reason Dye's leaving, if we're going to be completely honest with ourselves, is he wants to be the premier back somewhere to better his draft stock. He probably didn't get a great grade back when he was going through the evaluation process, so he wants to go somewhere and be the premier back. If he's at Oregon, he's not going to be getting a lion's share of the carries. It's going to be a 40-40-20 split with him, Cardwell, and Dollars.
Yeah.
And what if Verdell comes back? Knock on wood.
In the mix, I'd imagine.
Knock on. Well, I mean, he'd be playing till week 3. He'd get hurt, and then it would still be a 40-40-20 split.
Yeah.
But I know Dye's a good player, but I'm not that upset about him being gone. Him and Cardwell are very similar players.
I still think it's a bigger hit than you're making it out to be, but also I can see that with the depth in that room, it's not a huge deal. So. It's just, it's the big name because he was Pac-12
rushing leader,
yards and all blah, blah, blah. So.
But let's be real, when Oregon's offensive line isn't completely ass, they almost always have the rushing leader.
Yeah, it's true.
I mean, just think about in our young adult lifetimes, you've had Royce Freeman, you've had DeAnthony Thomas, you've had Kenyon Barner, you've had all these guys come through, and each one's breaking the next one's record. Oregon's always been able to run the ball fairly well.
Yep.
So I'm not
especially helps
concerned.
You have Anthony Brown at quarterback, and the only
that's the biggest running back loss, Anthony Brown.
Yeah, true.
Fucking lost 2 running backs, Anthony Brown and Travis Dye. Trey Benson went to Florida State too. He's really good. He is really solid. It was a really deep room, and he wasn't going to play, but he's really good. Yeah. If he played, he probably would have got 2 to 4 carries a game.
Mm-hmm.
But he's a really, really good player. So the rumor is Travis Dye might be going to USC.
Really?
Yeah.
I haven't seen a lot of smoke for anything, so that's news to me.
He would need to be a blocking back, I guess, because they need some help.
Yeah.
I I still don't understand PFF's grade for that. That was just fucking stupid.
I don't know, dude.
But
PFF will be PFF.
Speaking of blocking, that was a terrible transition into basketball. That was
awful.
So bad.
Wow.
That was so bad. I was gonna say because Kepnang's had a few.
You
good
know
blocks.
how many sports the word block is used in? Just about everyone.
But Frank Kepnang's had some really good blocks lately. Kind of reminiscent of Chris Boucher, Jordan Bell type stuff. He's been doing really good. Oregon basketball in general has ranked.
They're on fire.
They're going nuts.
It is absurd to watch.
And before anyone comments, UConn was missing their 2 best players. There is no reason to get embarrassed like they did.
Yeah.
If you're one of the top teams in the country, no matter what you're missing, you're not getting embarrassed.
Yeah. You know what? I have to admit, I saw the first win for men's, and I was like, holy cow, maybe they're back. And
I told you.
Well, who was the first? Was it UCLA first or USC?
I can't remember.
Yeah, but because I saw that whichever team they didn't play was next on the schedule. Yeah.
USC was first.
Okay. I was going to say, well, they got UCLA next. There's no way. And then I literally woke up the next morning with a message from you in my inbox.
Dana Altman, baby!
It's absurd. And I can't, there's nothing like it. I could talk about UW basketball all I want, and they're playing decent, and they might actually have double-digit wins. Mike Hopkins has done a miracle and somehow has gotten close to double-digit wins. I don't understand it. I hope he's gone anyways. I don't care. But holy cow, Oregon is taking the country by storm.
When we kept it close with Baylor, I said these are positive signs.
I hate it. I hate that you said that, and I hate that you were right.
I told you.
I didn't want to believe
when we kept it close with Baylor, it was a positive sign that once everyone was back and healthy, it would get rolling. And what do you know? Will Richardson's found his shot. Jacob Young has found his shot. Frank Kepnang is becoming a beast and not getting hurt every 2 seconds.
Yeah.
Oregon is ready to fucking ball, and I am fucking here for it. His name is Dana Altman, and he aligns Rubik's Cubes.
Yeah, I don't just early in the season. You want to talk about turning the thing around, turning the ship around. They lost to Arizona State earlier in the season.
We got smoked by BYU.
BYU lost to Houston's not a bad loss. Got smoked by BYU. Holy cow, you got destroyed by BYU. St. Mary's.
Yep.
Stanford loss, which they're actually pretty decent, but still. And then from there, it's just been all Oregon, close one with Baylor, and you guys just balled out. And guess who's next on the schedule? UW. It's going to be a slaughter.
Fuck you up.
It is going to be murder.
Especially if Will Richardson's hot hand continues.
If it's within 20 points, I will be impressed. If
it's within 20 points, Richardson missed his first 2 shots. That's what it is. But we are on a fucking tear.
Dude, and of course, UW's we're playing well, and then Oregon is coming off of beating 2 of the best teams in the country, and the women's team, beating UConn, beating a basketball blue blood.
We beat another top 10 team in the women's too. Can't remember who it is because we just fucking mollywopped the fuck out of UConn.
Yeah.
And I was just like, I do not care. I know I've said this already. I do not care that you were missing your 2 best players.
Arizona.
They
beat Arizona.
Fucking embarrassed. You got ran out of the court. Oregon now has a 2-game winning streak against UConn.
Yeah. And I mean, at least the Arizona game, earlier in the week, that was close. That was a 2-point game in overtime.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good win still, but obviously, it was close. UConn got blown out. It was by 13 points, and I'm pretty sure the margin was wider at one point.
Maybe it was way wider. Sabali got hurt.
Yeah. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, Sabali got hurt, which is a big loss. Hopefully she's okay. She was she went off the court with assistance, no pressure on her knee, and she's had some ACL issues before.
Yeah, that's
concerning.
Scary sight. Yeah.
But man, is Oregon basketball fun to watch right now, and man, do I enjoy that I told you this was coming.
And you're right. I'll admit it, man. You're so right.
I told you, until Dana Altman doesn't do it, he's gonna do it. Will you ever doubt Dana Altman again?
For the 18th year in a row, and he does it again. Pulls the season out of his ass.
And guess what? I'm telling you right now, and I'm not wrong when I say we're at least going to the round of 32.
I could totally see it. With the way the Pac-12 played last year, I totally believe it. The conference is still pretty legit. I know people argued it was pretty top-heavy, but with Oregon winning now,
Well,
they
Oregon
throw
was the
themselves
top
in.
heavy that they assumed it. They assumed it was USC and Oregon.
Yeah, that's true. I know it was. I mean, Arizona, UCLA are the two obvious ones.
Oregon
And then after
State
that,
sucks.
they're terrible. I
They're
mean,
so
people
bad.
expected a fall off, but not
They
bottom
only
of the
lost one
conference
guy.
bad. Yeah.
I didn't
I don't
expect
know.
this
I guess
much
they
of a
just
fall
got to
off.
the Elite Eight and they're like, all right, we're done. We're good.
We're done. We got farther
Check
than
it
Oregon.
out.
We win.
We win.
You know,
I mean, yeah.
have you seen Oregon
absurd.
State fans on Twitter? Like, it's kind of sad.
No, I haven't.
Oh my
I
lord.
actually haven't seen Oregon
Go
State
under
fans
any
on Twitter.
Oregon post for a sport and you'll see like 2 Beaver fans and like no replies. But like, it's like, why? Like, we don't care about you at all.
I can't even say I've seen an Oregon State fan on Twitter. I really can't.
I'm sorry to say this, but I'm getting to the point where I don't care much about Washington either.
Yeah, there's at least a lot of us.
There's at least a lot of you, but like, I'd rather argue with the 3 USC fans.
You'd rather argue with LA for the millionth time in the group
Yes.
chat.
And who's the other LA? There's LA Sports God and LA Sports Fanatic. Are they the same person?
No.
I didn't think they were, but
I don't know. It might be a burner,
confusing me.
actually.
Well, they're both in
I
the
don't
group chat
know.
and they both talk, and I'm just like,
Yeah, that's true.
it's just like
But Al does
Alex.
the
It's
sa-
just
Al
like
does the
Alex and
same
the
thing.
A. Is that? Are they
Yeah.
both him?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know.
Well, also Al's burner has Kalen DeBoer as his profile picture, so it kind of makes sense, you know. Like, of course.
Man, y'all need to get rid of Jen Cohen if you want to be good at sports.
Really?
Y'all need to. It's time.
No.
It's time.
You can't be serious,
But how
dude.
come-
What do you mean?
But how come y'all haven't done anything about it? What do you think Oregon fans would be doing if Oregon was this bad?
Here's the thing. She's really tight with like the school president, and the school president sees like most of the sports doing well and doesn't care about the fact that the moneymakers aren't doing well.
Most of the sports, like what, fucking rowing and tennis or some shit?
And softball and volleyball and baseball and soccer.
We're better than you at softball.
How'd we beat you guys last season then?
Luck.
Oh, well, yeah. That's it. That's it, clearly.
How'd you beat us in 2016?
Huh?
How'd you beat us in 2016?
Whatever, dude.
It's like you have a
Whatever.
2-year period. It's Washington. You
Yeah,
have 2
okay.
years.
Yeah, whatever.
And then you fall back off. Aside from your rowing team, you guys are rowing kings. Don't worry, I will give you your
We
props
are.
for
That's
that
true. Yeah, put some
dog shit
respect on
sport.
that. Put some respect on that, all right?
Hey Matt, how many people are on a rowing
Kings.
team?
No.
Oh,
I'll still buy a damn shirt.
you should have
though.
seen. I finally found the way to word it perfectly that made a Washington fan really mad. So they said they
Yeah.
won a championship. And you know the argument we always have about that. I quote tweeted, I said, you were
course.
awarded a championship. To win it, you would have to play a game for it. I worded it good for once.
Yeah.
I always fuck
mean-
that shit up. I always fuck it up. I always fuck it up so bad. I always say voted, and I'm just like, what the fuck? It doesn't sound
Yeah.
right.
Voting?
Yeah. Do we have any other news coming up? Have you guys had any recruiting momentum or not really?
No, we've been offering a lot more 4 and 5 star guys, and they're kind of going all over the place. So they're trying. The staff is trying. I will applaud them. They are trying to recruit. They're actually making an effort.
They put offers
not
in
a bunch
Florida.
of OKGs. Offers in Florida. I think in North Carolina or South Carolina.
Might
offer.
land a Florida wide receiver.
Yeah, I mean it'd be amazing. They're actually
They're trying to
going
get him
national.
to go play FSP.
I would have never. I saw that. I did see that from you. I would have never thought that like this staff would go as far as they have like geography
Well,
wise.
it kind of annoys me because we offered Cormani McLean in Polk County, and then fucking USC and Washington offer everyone in Polk County.
Yeah.
I'm just like, motherfucker.
Why not? Well, they see. Hey, you know what? They see the talents there now. I think that's a win. for
It is a
everybody
win, but like at the same time, I'm like, God damn! Like, why didn't y'all? If y'all were interested in them before, offer them then. They didn't know who the
Yeah.
fuck any of them players were. They see Oregon offer Cormani McLean. They watched his tape and seen other players on the field they liked, and they said, "Oh shit!"
there. those guys can ball.
Yeah, I fucking hate it. I fucking hate we offer
Ooh.
somebody and the rest of the Pac-12 is like, we're gonna offer him now.
Something we didn't mention, a little 1-for-1 trade with Auburn there. Ashford transferring to Auburn.
All right, guys, and thank you guys for watching the Ducks and Dogs podcast.
That's
I don't want to fucking
you lost
talk
that
about
one,
it.
in my opinion.
Yeah,
you
I lost
that
it in
trade.
my opinion. I lost it in everybody's opinion but Bo Nix. Oh, and the Twitter Spaces guys.
Yeah.
I love some of them guys, but they are the most optimistic. They're Hood Husky. They're literally Hood Husky.
Yeah.
They're the most optimistic for no fucking reason.
And optimism's good. I think it's good. But holy cow, you and like Lack and
be
Key
real.
and all them.
But be real. Like Bo Nix is not coming 3,000 fucking miles away to sit the fucking bench. Oh, they didn't give out no guarantee.
Okay.
Just because the last staff gave out guarantees.
I'm so sure.
Just because the last staff gave out guarantees doesn't mean this one did. Everyone gives out guarantees. It's not just Mario Cristobal. That's how this shit works.
On Allah, you don't know ball.
On Allah himself, you do not know ball. Bro, it's crazy. But then he is like the ultimate pessimist.
He is.
Oregon doesn't go after an injury prone transfer from Georgia. Man, we can't recruit nobody. Why the fuck would we want this man? He touches someone and gets hurt, bro. Like, chill out.
It absolutely kills me, dude. Seeing it on the timeline just makes my day. It's so funny.
Did you ever think you'd see the day where Mike is the happy medium?
No,
I am the happy medium.
It's the happy medium.
I'm like, defensive staff is great. They're recruiting well, but this offensive staff is meh. And
There's a lot more Oregon optimists than I thought there would be. I'm gonna be honest.
I thought the standards were higher. They should be higher.
Yeah, well, you'd think.
And we still got motherfuckers saying winning a Rose Bowl is enough. It is not enough. If I was in charge, if I had $1 billion and I was donating like Uncle Phil, if Dan Lanning came here and won Rose Bowls but never made the playoffs over a 7-year span, fire him. You're wasting the potential this program has. Yes, you're doing good. Cool. So was Mark Rick at Georgia. They switched coaches. Guess what they did? Won a national championship.
That's fair. Depending on who's on the coaching market. I mean, you have a point.
I mean, there's no reason to be content with winning the Pac-12 and winning a Rose Bowl when it's not a playoff game. When you have the best facilities in the country, the best uniforms in the country, yes, that means something. That matters a little bit. You have one of the best marketing teams in the country.
Mm-hmm.
You have one of the most recognizable logos in the country. ESPN loves you because you draw ratings. You're the only team out west outside of USC that does draw ratings.
Yeah.
Like, there is no excuse not to be at least competing and in the talk for a title.
And I think if the Pac-12 as a whole, the new commissioner a couple weeks ago said something about wanting to bring football to the forefront, and I think that's good. His vision for the conference right now is amazing.
I absolutely
love it. I love it. But these teams need to stop settling for the Rose Bowl because yes, it's the grandfather and the big Pac-12 game that everybody talks about. But you want the conference to be taken seriously, make the playoff more than every 5 years,
and
like compete, win a game in the playoff, consistently have different teams in the playoff. You know what I mean? At
the very least, we need USC and Oregon at that at least standard. At the very least, we would like to have Washington or Stanford or UCLA
the more the
there.
merrier. If you can get those teams up there, do it.
At the very least, you need your two major draws. You need your two ratings draws. You need Oregon and USC to be competing for playoff spots year in and year out.
The Pac-12 title game can't just be for one team to maybe get in the playoff.
It's got to be.
You know what I mean?
It's got to be the 2019 Pac-12 title game.
Yeah.
High-ranked Utah, high-ranked Oregon.
Yeah.
It's got to be the 2014 Pac-12 title game. High-ranked Arizona. Been a long time since we've seen that. High-ranked Oregon.
Yeah. They were good, though. They were really good.
They were. They beat Marcus Mariota.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm hopeful that with Lincoln Riley at USC, we'll get Oregon, USC being a really premier matchup, and I think Washington could eventually get to that level depending on when they rotate out the staff. Obviously, they'll switch stuff up. I don't think you could get to that level with the recruiters you have on the staff currently.
Yeah, I
But
mean, I'm already liking the signs of life I'm seeing. Who knows? Maybe
yeah, there's life.
they'll
There's
sneak
life.
their way to the conversation earlier than
Yeah, but
people
I think
expect.
they could compete for one like once every 6-7 years. But if they want
Yeah,
to
and
get
I
to the
think I
level,
think slowly they'll upgrade that stuff over time.
yeah,
They'll
yeah,
see
yeah.
success. People will get raises. People will get bump ups.
I hope we upgrade this fucking offensive staff. Jesus. And it's just you need as much as all the Pac-12 fans hate USC and hate Oregon. Nobody likes Oregon. Nobody in the Pac-12 likes Oregon. But as much as y'all hate it, y'all need Oregon and USC to be good.
You need at least 2 teams in the Pac-12 to be good. It doesn't even matter who they are. You need one good team in the North and one good team in the South.
The good team in the North has to be Washington, Oregon, or Stanford. Good team in the South has to be USC or UCLA. Period.
Yep.
It can't be Utah. I'm sorry, it can't just be Utah.
Ratings wise, it can't be. I think if
we're going ratings, it has to be an LA team in Oregon or Washington.
Yeah. I think if Utah wins consistently the next couple of years, they need to keep momentum for more than just next season to be in that conversation, I think.
Yeah.
Because they drew viewers for the Rose Bowl this year because it was just new.
Bowl.
Like people hadn't seen it's the Rose Bowl and people hadn't seen Utah play in a big game like that in a long time.
The Rose Bowl draws the top viewership of any non-playoff bowl game every year. So it's not
True. And it was the best bowl game of the season.
It was a really good game. It was a really good game. And you need to get to Utah needs to get to the level of I think me and you both agreed on this. If Oregon was playing in that game, those Ohio State players aren't opting out.
Yeah.
So Utah needs to get to that level where these Ohio State players don't want to opt out for that game.
Yeah. Granted, there's also the narrative earlier in the season where, Oregon beat Ohio State.
But even if we didn't play, do you think they opt out if they're playing Oregon?
Yeah, probably. I think that game earlier in the season did a lot. Maybe a couple guys don't. I don't think it makes a huge difference.
I think a game against Oregon's talent has more implications on, having film for draft scouts than a game against Utah's talent.
Yeah, but
how many NFL players are on Utah's defense? 3? 4?
A few. Here's the thing though, like a lot of those guys make up their mind pretty early on and if they're staying or if they're going.
Yeah. I understand they're staying or they're going, but playing in that
I don't think it would have made a huge difference. I think more so the narrative of Oregon and Ohio State playing earlier in the season would have done more to keep guys than it just being Oregon, if that makes sense.
I don't know. Because when Oregon played Wisconsin, they had guys who could have opted out.
It's true. That was a fun game.
That was a fun game. Despite the absolute misuse of Justin Herbert that we saw. What the fuck? How did we use that man so wrong? How? I don't understand.
Still missed the playoffs this year. That's crazy to me.
Yeah. His coach misusing the team.
It is the Chargers, so I can't say it's like his fault or anything.
Brandon Staley, Mario Cristobal.
Yeah.
Same coach.
Yeah.
Except for Brandon Staley is actually smart and is willing to take risks. Mario Cristobal
played a lot of risky football and it just didn't pay off.
Mario Cristobal's like 3rd and 18. Dive.
Draw. the
draw.
3rd and long draw. Best playing football.
Misdirection against it works Ohio State. Like, what are we doing? And then it works, and I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
Bad play call, but it worked.
The other 95% of the time when it doesn't work, yeah.
Yeah. And if you play a team of Ohio State's caliber, normally the same play won't work over and over and over again. Normally?
But
it did, but who am I to judge?
Yeah.
Anyways, we don't have as much to talk about. Obviously, it's the off season for football. Oregon basketball's picking up, but with Washington sucking at all the other relevant sports, it doesn't help for our conversation topics at all.
I can confidently say they're not the worst team in the Pac-12 in basketball, and that's good.
That's a first.
That's a first.
Well, hey guys, we want to thank you guys for watching this episode of the Ducks and Dawgs podcast. Until next time, when we'll be talking about Oregon versus Washington men's basketball. My name is Mike, and this is my co-host Matt, signing out.
See ya.